Okay, hello there, everyone in YouTube land. This is the Youngster coming in with another fighting game reaction, of course. Sagat last week was one of the most anticipated trailers, I believe, that people are looking out for. But we now have a new one in 2XKO. Yes, the tag team fighter that has been kind of kicking up steam and then sort of losing it, somewhat dissipating right now, which we'll go over a little bit more towards the end here. But we got a new character, Vi, coming in, and we're just going to see what they play like. So this started. So I'm not particularly like a arcane sort of fan, but I have played League, and Vi was certainly a character that I did see a lot. Ooh, she got like a Captain Commando kind of pillar attack and a fast sort of reaction super maybe. Okay, block string. Ooh, okay, she has some sort of like command dashes going on. That's kind of cool, right? I mean, I guess she might be somewhat of a boxer, maybe, so that's why she can duck and weave, maybe. But yeah, the little dashes here reminds me of the wave dashes in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. Ooh, I guess that might be her reversal. Ooh, all right. Oh, and she has a grab after that, too? Ooh. Oh, damn. Yep, she's definitely a boxer.
Yeah. I'd hate to fight me too.
Okay. And then closed beta for September 9th. Okay. So I guess we can sign up for that if we want to. Let's just go ahead real quick. There's just a couple of things that I wanted to take a look at here. So I guess the first thing here is, like she can do command dash and a throw. So she got that, obviously she's going to be very deadly. You're going to have to take the strike throw. And then I want to just double check again. She might be able to get something off the throw too. Like I wouldn't put it past it to be able to call assist to do like a pickup on that. So that's going to be even more deadly. And then she also has this sweet little like Akihiko, like multiple upper cancels into an ender there. And go into super, that's super sick. And then the other thing is like she has all these like cool little like command dashes. You see that? Like bobbing and weaving. It's gonna be pretty sick to kind of fool around with, like because again, one of the cool things that at least I saw when casually watching like Ultimax matches here and there, is seeing the Akihiko players. Like those were usually my favorites to watch. That and I would say Elizabeth players were also kind of fun to watch too, just because they're sort of rare. But yeah, so I mean, I think Vi is going to be fairly going to be a free-flowing character that certainly will make you kind of think on the fly. And there's going to be the closed beta I'll be hoping to apply for and everything here. But that's not the only thing we're going to be here for in regards to the trailer itself. It's more so to do with where 2XKO is at. And I know a lot of people have already sort of made the sentiments regarding 2XKO. And that was because of this trailer here that came out last month. Arc System Works announcement of Marvel Toe Consoles, which is another tag fighter. It's gonna be playing more so in terms of Guilty Gear related mechanics, right? It's not going to be as crazy fast as Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, right? This is obviously using the Strive system, and I'm sure that the 3v3 like sort of beta testing, that they've been doing with Strive is pretty much one of the bases for this particular game itself. But on top of Marvel Tokon Souls being announced, which is the invincible tag fighter here. And so this just kind of puts 2XKO in, I wouldn't say like a bad position, but it certainly puts them in a rather awkward situation, right? Bad timing when you're just kind of around the precipice of releasing this big project for League of Legends, a League of Legends fighting game, and then, like towards this sort of last stretch, you got, one of the biggest fighting game companies out there, Arc System Works, making a tag fighter with one of the most popular IP brands, Marvel, right? And then you also have Invincible Versus, which is another like popular IP, and is isn't necessarily gonna be like a direct threat, but it's something to also add to the conversation. So why does it put them in such an awkward position here? Well, we have to look back and see where we're currently at with 2XKO and the feelings around it. So first off, we have to look at when this all began. And I had to kind of take a double take because I thought the initial announcement for this 2v2 fighting game for League of Legends was a lot like recent, like 2022, maybe at most like 2021, but actually it looks like that it was first kind of teased back in 2019, which is a very long time ago. I mean, this is the equivalent of, where's Silksong for people, right? Like around the same time, I believe the Silksong Nintendo like Treehouse gameplay trailer or something like that was released around 2019, and that game hasn't been released at all, or is at least potentially close to releasing. But again, the amount of fervor that people had of like, why isn't this thing being released yet? Where is Silksong? And Project L, as it was called back then, but now it's 2XKO, is in the same kind of situation where like, hey, it's kind of been a long time. When are we getting the game? So to be fair, we should look at it from a perspective of when, I suppose, 2XKO as we know it. So I suppose this would technically, to my knowledge, be sort of the earliest of when 2XKO was sort of released upon the public, which was the public testing or showcase at EVO 2023, which was all the way back in, I believe, like August, right? August or July. So at this point, it's been about 2 years, and the initial, characters that we saw were Yasuo, Ahri, and Echo. And then since then, we have added Braum, Illaoi, and Jinx. And now Vi's going to be the 7th character. So with all of that being said, already we have had 2 years time, and we've not really heard a sort of solid like release date for this game yet. It says 2025, but we're not sure when in 2025. There is now the closed beta test, which is going to be in September, and it didn't say anything about an end date. So my assumption is going to be that it's going to be like an open, you know, here is this beta test that you guys can play all the time, and we will eventually release like 1.0, which will be the official, here is the packaged game for us. And so one of the comparisons that I can make in 2XKO's current situation is a little game called Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Now, I'm not trying to compare, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and 2XKO being on the same sort of like ground as far as quality goes. Like, obviously, 2XKO is of much higher quality than Infinite ever was, but there is at least some parallels to, what potentially could happen, and that the development team over at Riot might be facing when it comes to the launch release of 2XKO. Because when Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was getting all this backlash about having all the same characters from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the bad graphics that were going on, the sort of meme edits of what the characters looked like in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and you compare that to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and they look ghoulish in comparison. But it was also due to key IPs dropping another fighting game. And what do you know, by the same company themselves, Arc System Works, using a popular IP of Dragon Ball and making a tag team fighter that literally ate the lunch of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. This was such a role reversal where now no one really cared about Marvel vs. Capcom at this point, and they were all just hyped for Dragon Ball FighterZ. And so with this, it's sort of comparable to, again, Arc System Works dropping out of nowhere the Marvel Tokon Souls tag team fighter. But then in the Invincible example, again, Arc System Works, in this case, releases another tag fighter. Not necessarily, something that I guess the vast majority of players were like hankering about, but it's another tag fighter that is sort of pushing itself into the space of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Dragon Ball FighterZ. And funnily enough, right, EVO 2018, where people were expecting, okay, Dragon Ball FighterZ is gonna be in one of the main events. Will Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite make it? And the answer is no. And the funny thing is that it's not Dragon Ball FighterZ that took its place. It was BB Tag. This game here got a spot at EVO, and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite didn't. So I think it really is crucial in this sort of, I suppose, the last stretch of the race scenario that Team Riot is pretty much put into right now. Because if the closed beta test ends up being a scenario where, like, there's not really a lot of updates, and, it seems nigh impossible to really figure out when we're eventually going to get the full release of the game, even though it says 2025, if it's like late, 2025, or if it might end up being like towards even like early 2026, that might be potentially disastrous, because now people might have just, had their mind thrown out the door, they're already leaving, and they are trying to just look forward to more than likely Marvel vs. Tokon Souls, or I suppose the Invincible Versus game. But again, in this scenario, let's just focus on the Marvel Tokon Souls as being the more of the issue here, in accordance with what's going on with the current 2XKO situation. But yeah, that's about it for me on my sort of little reaction to Vi, which really was just sort of like a tangent It was more so about me talking about the current state of 2XKO and where I think it's heading over to. But what do you think of 2XKO currently? Do you think that it's going to be fine? Are you worried about what it's going to be like in the future and how long it's taking? Are you more likely going to be playing the Invincible Versus game or the Marvel Tokon Souls game? Please tell me in the comment below. And of course, you know, I am a budding YouTuber, so if you can please subscribe to my channel for more videos. I will try to upload weekly as much as I can. But of course, you know, with work and every other kind of obligation out there, it may end up being more of a hard thing to keep up with. But for now, I will try to do a weekly upload. But other than that, this has been the Yuckster. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you all in the next one.